The final days of campaigning, where every vote could matter in Sunday's runoff. In a televised debate Wednesday, Emmanuel Macron sought to highlight links between Marine Le Pen's far-right party and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Her National Rally party took a loan from a Kremlin-linked bank in 2014.
For our country, this is bad news because you depend on the Russian regime and you depend on Putin.
Le Pen said no French bank would lend her money, so she went to Russia. What would a Le Pen presidency mean for Europe's security at a time of conflict? Her approach to Russia is in stark contrast to that of most Western leaders.
As soon as the Russian-Ukrainian war is over and has been settled by a peace treaty, I will call for the implementation of a strategic rapprochement between NATO and Russia.
Le Pen has criticized the supply of heavy weapons to Ukraine, and she wants to weaken French links with NATO.
Once elected president, I will leave NATO's integrated command, but I won't renounce the application of Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty on Collective Security.
A Le Pen victory would severely weaken Western unity against Russia, says analyst Renaud Foucault.
She has been among the first, if not the only, French candidates to recognize Crimea, the annexion of Crimea by Russia. So very, very clearly, she will not be in favor of stronger sanctions. She has opposed, and she has been very, very vocal about opposing sanctions on fossil fuels, on gas, on oil from Russia.
But in recent weeks, Le Pen has risen in the polls, despite her past links with a Russian regime accused of war crimes. Gérard Araud is a former French ambassador to the United Nations.
She has distanced herself somehow really from Putin. She has condemned the attack against Ukraine. Second point, in France, like in the US, elections are decided not on foreign policy issues, but on domestic policy issues. And like in the US, France is facing a wave of inflation.
Le Pen has focused her campaign on the cost of living and has characterized Macron as an aloof president more obsessed with Europe than France. For years, Le Pen campaigned for France to leave the EU. Now she says so-called Frexit is not her policy. Instead, she wants to reform the bloc.
But actually, she is going to change it so dramatically, so radically, that actually either she won't implement her program or she will leave the European Union.
A surprise victory for Le Pen would likely send tremors through the transatlantic alliance, with big implications for NATO and the European Union. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.